Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the free-to-play account and hopefully we'll be able to push through the thrilling voyage that we have going on. Now, right now, you want to ensure that you are getting and completing this Fog of the Forest in its entirety because we only have 18 more days to get all of the additional diamonds out of here, to get all of the baits out of here. And I know on this account, we do not have a lot of very strong heroes, but again, I'm hoping we can really push through here. So we're going to put in just a basic beast, which I'm thinking level 15 right here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this guy in. Now we know we get one single copy or a fully built copy of all the heroes we have unlocked. So I'm going to drop Shamira in here and I'm going to drop Aethys. They're going to be my tanks. Mishka is also going to be in here. And then we did get a copy of Liberta. And I'm also thinking running Ivan in here and seeing exactly how this looks. Don't know if we're going to be able to pull enough damage in here, but we know that every stage that we complete in here allows us to not only get some diamonds, you're unlocking additional rewards, but you are also getting those baits out of there and those bonus assignments out of doing this within essentially this first time frame. Might need a little bit more damage out of here. We're gonna have to see where Liberta kind of comes in. But first stage goes down pretty quick. And I wanna look at the damage. So 42 million, 20 million, so not too bad in there. 79 challenges left. Now, a lot of players were also kind of wondering when this resets. So the challenge attempts, you can see it does reset actually on Monday. Now, for me personally, here where I live, it is Saturday for the servers that reset. Then it is Monday for this game mode to reset back to your 80 attempts, which means you do have to wait a little bit further. Now, one thing to note with this combination, and the reason why I feel like it does work pretty well, Aethys, very, very tanky. The exact same with the Awakened version of Shamira. And again, thinking of the heroes that we have and the ones we don't have in here, Misha also provides a really big crowd control with the stun in here with her abilities. Randy is, of course, just an absolute monster. Same with Liberta. Now, as we progress further in here, it is going to require us to actually go in here and be able to be over a certain health percent. That might be a little bit challenging with this team, but I'm hoping in combination that we're going to be able to finish this. And as you can see, we are getting a lot of diamonds out of every single completion. When we start getting to the star stages, every completion yields us 200 diamonds. Going to give us all the diamonds we need to get a lot more summons in here, which is super, super ideal. Now, between these two, we do have a lot of healing that happens here with Liberta right here in the back. Crowd control, just locking down the enemies. When we lock the enemies down, of course, they cannot do any damage at all, which is a big driving force and a big reason why we're really going in here. Then we also do have Shamira, which has the SP effect. A fully built out Shamira does incredibly well in formations. I know some teams were running a lot of different heroes in here, the Awakened version of Athalia. I'm seeing a lot of different variations that, again, we are kind of going through. But being free to play, being on a new account, we don't have a majority of the heroes. Even looking at Awakened heroes as it sits right now, we only have 2 Awakened heroes. We have Shamira, which we got out of the Unlimited Summons event. And then we have been pulling copies of Envy, which we possibly could use in here. But overall, I feel like this is going to be a team that does well. And I love the Awakened version of Shamira, guys. Talk about a hero that has a ton of utility. You can see everybody here staying well healed up, almost full HP on everyone, picking up another 100 diamonds. We are 7 stages into this already. I feel like, again, we're going to be able to make some pretty decent progression in here. Question is, when it comes to those 2 and 3 star stages, can we get the resources? Now, also note, when it comes to this game mode specifically, you do not have to get every single stage at 3 stars. A lot of players don't realize that you do not have to perfectly get every single stage at those 3 stars as you're going through. You just need to complete the stage with at least 1 star to progress to the next stage in its entirety, which again, you have to remember that in this game mode. Going through, again, we have Iran in here. Boom, pulls us right in. Aethys is a monster when it comes to the ability to tank. I really don't think defensive-wise that there really is a tank that is much better, that can take, an incredible amount of damage. And it's almost like he goes almost untouched. That's the reason why we did build him a lot earlier in formations, because he is just a monster when it comes to tanking. I even think some of the awakened heroes, when you think of like an Estrilda, that is a tank. When I think of Thorin, um, not quite of the same level of utility when it comes to overall just how incredibly tough Aethys is. Again, that crowd control kind of locking it down when he gets up. And I know Alvida's kind of the same, but she's a little bit different because of the 1 HP kind of where she stays. But I feel like damage wise and just the ability to mitigate it, he does incredibly well. Now we also have Lysander in here. We also have Valfera. So I mean, we do have a couple other options in that support role if we do need it. We pulled 2 copies. You remember we got the 1 copy first of Kregor, and then we got that copy of Valfera. And again, this game mode will give them to us in the entirety, which is pretty cool to see. So they are completely and maxed out in their entirety, which is really cool. So here we have Kalthar in the back. Another one, Graveborn, a little more difficult to kill. Very well known for the Thorn Cheese. Brings us to stage number 11. And this is a really budget team, guys. When you look at the build of this, again, kind of thinking on the new player guide, building out and getting 1 copy of Chimera early game can work incredibly well. If you go in there and you've got Envy, again, that is another one that will do very well. But overall, getting 1 copy of the Awakened version of Chimera, and then right now we also do have 3 copies of Liberta that we've already pulled. Continuing to build both of them up really make a big difference. Both of them have utility and really a crazy amount of utility in different game modes. And honestly, when you look at this, and again, I think a lot of players kind of get pigeonholed when it comes to the heroes on who to build or when to build. Because when we start looking at meta formations, they are kind of under the assumption that you have every hero available in AFK Arena, that you have the signature items, you have the furniture, you have the engraving on all of these heroes that we have within AFK Arena. So for a lot of players, you know, a lot of the heroes that we get from the Challenger store, even, you know, a couple other places might have a lot of utility, even though they're not in the top tier. They're not in the top tier utility tier list because you don't have access to it. So even thinking here, when it comes to Draconic heroes, it is going to be a crazy amount of time before I can get them as a free-to-play player on a brand new account. I think right now we're at about 100 insignias, but with the Highborn Draconic heroes, you need about 700. I know looking at a lot of different things, about 700 was where you needed to get those Draconic insignias to for the effectiveness, or essentially to get the hero built out in the entirety. And the same rings true when it comes to getting a lot of different copies or multiple copies of the regular Draconic heroes, because it's going to be a significant amount of time before we're actually dropping diamonds in that game mode. The only thing we're doing right now is getting scrolls, and when we get the scrolls, those are what we're using. But again, when it comes to sheer summoning them, getting a lot of copies with diamonds, I'm going to focus on my Celestials. I'm going to focus on the Hippos, and we have a lot of both of them that we really do need to build and develop before we start looking at other options. So there's Liberta with the linking right down here on Tricia. Takes her out pretty quick. Again, the combination of these heroes, guys, it's a pretty easy, it's a pretty, actually very free to play friendly team. We're not going in here and just dropping all of these awakened heroes, which again, in this game mode, you don't have to have them built. The big thing it really focuses on is the beasts in their entirety. And every time that we get the new beast release, we do get the new Fantastic Voyage. So they do kind of go hand in hand. You can see even in there with Randy, got Aethys for that crowd control. And I know even a lot of the effects are not showing up. So now we're in to the 3 mode. So this win with all of the heroes above 50%. You could also go in here. You could use the Rock Lizard in here for the shielding aspect. There are a couple different ones that essentially you can get rid of a lot or increase the damage mitigation for a lot of these heroes to keep them kind of fully healed through a bunch of different buffs, a bunch of different support heroes as well. Come on, we got to take some of these down because I believe we have a timer in this one as well. I know Liberta is not a really big burst. Yeah, we might miss the timer on some of these. Might have to put someone in here like Envy instead of Liberta, but I'm kind of worried about what the healing is going to look like at that point. The 104 right there, I think we still beat, yeah, 1, 2, and 3 stars right there. Boom, we're up to 18 of 33. And I believe this also gives us access to all of the beast food already, the diamonds and the beast food. All of the bonuses, I believe, are already up there and already taken care of. And I'm almost thinking we could put Ivan in here as well. If we took out like a Misha, we could put Ivan in here as well. But I know, again, utility-wise, Misha does incredibly well with Aethys. And then the combination of Shamira and Randy, again, do very well. Now, here we have Nadia, and we have the immunity. Anytime that you're dealing with Desira, it's incredibly difficult to get through because if you don't have enough damage, as you can see, we're just seeing all of the immunity counters we're getting on this side, trying to take out multiple targets, trying to take out a lot of different idols in here. We got to have a lot more burst damage. Again, we might not get all of the stars in here, but even there, Shamira and Liberta died. Just have Nadia left, which Nadia is a nightmare to take down. Even the baby Nadia. All right, so I think we lost 2 stars on that one. No, we got 2 stars. I thought we lost 2 stars. All right, so what are we at? 20 of 33. And I'm thinking, you know what? Let's swap Liberta out of here. Let me see what Envy can do. And I know the double SP effect I don't really like very much. I feel like Envy's not going to be the one to replace Liberta, but I know we don't have Athalia in here. And even there, we got to get him to ult. Got to go crazy. There we go. So we ulted right there. That gives him a lot more damage output. I'm almost wondering if we bring out the new beast. Maybe we'll have to bring out the new beast. But I think, yeah, oh, we did. We did get the last one. 50%. Let's try the new beast in here. You know what? Let's drop Liberta back in here. And let's see what this looks like. Because I did pull one single copy of the new beast. But now this is level 1, guys. This is a baby beast. I don't even see. Yeah, look how long it takes to get the beast energy. Level 1, very slow. I mean, the enemy, look at this beast on this side, guys. It is literally climbing. That's okay. We need to get some crowd control with Misha. There we go. Got to get through Lucius's shields. Yeah, I think my little baby beast isn't going to do it. But I mean, if Randy can knock him down and really lock him up, I think that'll give us one. I think we'll be at 3 stars there as well. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, let me drop in. And the only one I actually have leveled up is this. I know Slumbering Seal in here with all of these. The Slumbering Seal actually just decimates formations in here because of the additional damage output. It is kind of crazy how much damage the Slumbering Seal can put out in a very short amount of time. So here we have Fane in the back. Misha running around doing her thing. Got the linked right down there. Nevi should take out Nevi in just a second. But the immunity. We can see the immunity of all of these heroes. I think we're almost got Lorzen down. Yeah, look at the block and the immunity down here. 1 minute. This should be, again, another 3 star. All right, we're at 29 of 33. I think we only have 1 or 2 more stages. Then we'll hop in here. We'll do some beast summons. Yeah, right off the bat with Shamira with the linking. And again, we have Desira back here. Oh, it's so tough with that immunity that she pops. We know the combination of these two do put out a considerable amount of damage. Pretty much all healed up there. Should be another 3 stars. So we only have one more stage. We need 1 star out of here. Now, this does take it to 60 seconds on the battle, which again, I'm not worried about all the rest of the stars, but we want to make sure that we're getting the diamonds. We don't want to be missing any of those diamonds out of here, because they are freebies. They are going to be the summons. All right, got a few ones that are charmed in there. Of course, we're fighting the Fox Fatale. Rez over there with the slingshot. Got to take the shielding entendre out right up here in front. Linked right there with the twins. Come on, maybe we can take them out. I got the link with Scrag right there. Seems like once one falls, and it's kind of dominoes for everyone else. Even 45, so I don't think we met the minute timer. That might be right on spot. Minute timer, so what do we got? This is 23. I think it goes to 25. If we can at least finish the battle, we'll get the diamonds. Guys, this is a lot of diamonds. This is 25 stages of diamonds. That is a very, very considerable amount of diamonds we're getting out of here. Got Rowan. You can see all of the little trickery chests kind of hanging around. Then we have the minions in here. Got to take down all of those little minions that are running all over the battlefield. Got to try to get Grez down. There we go. I think we've only dropped 1 star so far. I think it has only been 1 star, but again, first clear is 200 diamonds in this one. Now, a lot more damage dealers in here, which is okay because we're not going to have to deal with all of the immunity and support. So again, some of these, Thorin goes down right there. There goes Lady Simona. But of course, Thorin comes back up. We have Treznar with immunity, already knocked him off the horse. Yeah, and there's the big ult from Shamira. Again, burning it down with the budget team. I think this is our last one. They're all gone. We are finally close. What's the little tree spirit? I think this is the final one, and we will collect up all of this sweet loot. Boom, this is a lot more damage. Even though we have a Laro in here, and we have Mortis as a buffer. Leica with the fast haste right there in the awe. All right, let's see if we can get Scrag down right here in the middle. Come on, we got a lot of immunity. Boom. Salakai goes down. I think Alero also went down. There goes Mortis dropping like pins. And the final one takes Leica out. Again, another 3 right there. That brings us to 0 limit, but that's okay. We want to collect this up. Boom, 122,000 diamonds out of there, which completes it in the entirety. And then the same with here. We get Stargazer Scrolls. We get everything we need to build up some of these heroes a lot further. But I want to do some beast summons. I want to hop on here and see. Now, if you remember, we're looking for some very specific beasts. We have 352 in here, and we are trying to get a Slumbering Seal. We're also looking to get 1 single copy of our little guy right there. Our little, I forget the name of that one. And then, of course, the Treat Spectator. So let's see, we have 3 full summons. Can we at least finish out some more of these beasts? There we go. We get 1, and that is it. So with that little copy of the beast, I believe at this point we are going to be dropping it out, thinking of where we had and where we kind of were in the tier list. So we know we already have that one, so I'm going to drop him or drop that little guy out. I'm going to drop in, boom, Talisman, and we're going to stay just like this until we get both of these, 1 up to 6, which is going to be Treat Spectator, and then 1 up to 3, which is going to be Talisman. So we just have to continue getting the baits, continue getting the pulls, but that does level up our little Aurelis up to level 1 right there. So very cool to see. So we have already gotten 4 beasts at this point within AFK Arena. So very cool to see. Like I said earlier, we did all of our summons. Even some of these, we'll just continue to build these up. Now, once these are maxed out, we have a couple more levels in here, but once they essentially get maxed out, then it turns all into your secret spice. When it transforms and when it turns into that secret spice, you actually have the ability to summon them a lot faster. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.